Does anyone know what the Olympic flame stands for? What does the Olympic flame represent? Anyone? A lot of people say the indomitable human spirit. And that's sort of what's been accepted in the media whenever they cover the games. Ah, yes, here comes so-and-so carrying the Olympic torch, representing the human spirit. If you go back to the Greek Olympics, the Olympic flame represented our dominance of nature. Our dominance of nature. Look, if you dominate something and you destroy it, you know, now if you were eating off of that something, like a field, now you're finished. So obviously dominance, as it says in the Bible, to have dominion over the earth, it obviously includes sustainability, right? It must. Moses just didn't write it down in Genesis because anyone with half a brain knew. We can't just rape this land for 5 or 6 years in a row and then we got to move up over there. We got to manage this, rotate the crops, put the manure back on the fields. Now I like the words of a guy named Ettore Gotti, who wrote, he's a Vatican economist. And during the last financial crash, he made the following observation, that human beings are not mouths that consume, but minds that produce. You can see the allusion to Albert Einstein and Steve Jobs. He said that zero population growth might have been somewhat responsible. He didn't want to overstep the bounds. He's an economist after all, not want to make outlandish claims. But he said zero population growth, such as they've been experiencing in Europe for the last decade, except for immigration, that it probably had something to do with the last economic recession. Right? Now, I like also the words of Pope John Paul. Pope John Paul, of course, accredited alongside Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan for bringing down communism. He put it a little more succinctly than an economist could ever dream. He said, man is man's greatest resource. You see, in nature, you have chicken hawks, and they eat chickens. And when the chicken hawks eat all the chicken hawks die. But humans eat chickens, and the more humans we have, the more chickens we have. Why? Because of all of you. It's simple, and it'll never end. I mean, yeah, we get up to 89 or 90 billion people. We're going to start to approach the productive capacity of the planet Earth. But, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 years? I mean, we're not even close yet. So what this is, it's the hippie movement from the 1960s brought forward into the reality of the modern day. Anyone heard of the Cloward-Piven strategy to get everyone on welfare and that'll destroy the Western capitalist system? Well, this is sort of what's happening here. You see, in the 1960s, the hippie movement was focused on getting people to stop doing things. Stop wearing fur, stop wearing leather, stop eating meat, stop driving a car, stop burning fossil fuels. And they did that for quite a while. They even got some government funding for it, and they convinced one president, Jimmy Carter, to really play along. But what they realized in the 1990s, what the activists realized when they took the reins from the real organic farmers who started CCOF in 1974, and they said, here, you go back to farming, we'll handle this, we'll handle the brain work for you. What they realized was they needed to finally start selling something to people. To stop telling people to stop, because that only works for so long, and you need a constant supply of donations. What they've tapped into now is a potentially infinite perpetuation of their ideals through the organic market. It's the only thing. You've got the Schwab movement, the sustainable, slow, local, organic, all that. But it's really the organic movement that's driving this to the tune of $30 billion a year. And this is unprecedented. And I would suggest to you, it's unprecedented not just in America, not just in Western civilization. This is unprecedented in human history. Throughout time, people have been convinced to buy this because it's better than that. And sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't. They just got sucked in by the marketing. But this is all marketed from start to finish. And 76% of Americans buy organic food at least once a week. So they're only at the $30 billion mark, but they've got people putting one item in their grocery cart at least once a week. And that's the sea change when that occurs. It's not economic reality yet, but it's already, if you will, intellectual reality. It's already happening.